stupid 20-year-old stuff. Like, it's Kiwizy and the Heezy, and welcome back to another video. I'm gonna start by saying so sorry that there was no video uploaded on Monday. To my 34 subscribers that might care about me, I appreciate y'all. I was having so many technical difficulties when it came to recording, when it came to editing, and I was just like, this is not gonna work. So here we are on Tuesday. Today I'm gonna be doing a story time, as you can tell, and I'm also gonna be recreating a makeup Pinterest look, which I'll put right there. Because if you know me, you know I don't do eyeshadow. So yeah, just about everything that I'm using today is drugstore, child, drugstore, okay? Except my Fenty Beauty, but still affordable. That's why I said like drugstore affordable. And except this Crown Pro palette that I'm going to be using, simply because when I was in school for aesthetics, I got it in my kit. We're just going to jump right into the video. I'm not going to be listing as I go. I'm just going to list everything in the description box down below. But here we go. So I'm gonna start by saying I was 19 years old when I met this person, and this is the story of how I found out. Basically, I was being lied to and I was the other person. I was 19 years old when I met this person, and I met them because I used to work with kids and their child went to the program. I cannot believe I'm telling the story. And so from the moment that I seen him, I was like, I need it. Period. I needed it. And I knew, and I made up in my mind. I was like, I need it, I'm gonna get it. Period. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care. It started by just me seeing him. Like, when I seen him, he seen me, and I know he seen me. Period. I know he seen me. And so he seen me, I seen him, never said nothing, right? But then I would see that him and mom never came together. Like, they never picked up the child together. They always drove different cars. Like, I just seen like little stuff. And then one day she had come to pick up their child, and then he came like a few minutes after, and so I happened to be sitting at the front. And so I was like, oh, like she had came to pick him up already. And he was like, oh, I know, like I'm just here to pay. And I was like, okay, okay, like I don't know what's going on, but you know, we're gonna see what's up. So that day he had came to pay, and I was writing him out a receipt or whatever, and for some reason like the receipt just wasn't working. Like, it was just taking mad long. So my coworker sitting next to me was like, she just don't want you to go. And I was like, mind your business. And he was like, I don't have no problem with that. And I was like, bro, stop playing with me. Like, stop playing with me, right? So from that day, I was like, you know what? One of these days I'm gonna shoot my shot. Like, one of these days I'm going to shoot my shot. I have to. So fast forward, end of summer comes. It's the last day of the summer program. Now, during my summer program, I worked with the older kids, so I was in a separate area from the little kids, which is where his kid was. And normally, at the end of the day, we bring them all together. And so, normally when I come over, the kid is still there. I'll see him, blah, blah, blah. That day, he had got picked up early. I should have took it as a sign. I should have took it right there as a sign and not did nothing else, y'all. But when I walked over there and there was like, guess who got picked up already? Sting, please, Sting. Like, I just felt so like, I was hurt. I was low-key hurt because I have finally built up the courage. I looked cute that day. I knew I looked cute that day because I had planned to look cute that day. So I had built up the courage or whatever to finally say something, and he gets picked up early, and I was so sad, right? anyways, the end of the day comes. Like I said, it's our last day. So they're like, oh shoot, there's a backpack. So they look in it and they was like, oh, guess whose backpack it is? And I was like, who? Whose backpack could it be? And then they told me whose backpack it was. They was like, you want to call the parent? I said, you know I want to call the parent. And so I called. Hello. I was like, bro, this is just not me. It's just not me. So I was like, bro, your kid left the backpack. Like, come pick up his backpack, whatever. And she was like, okay, like, we're right here. We'll go ahead and pick up the backpack, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, bro. Like, I was so irritated. Anyways, they come to get the backpack, and guess who picks up the backpack? I mean, just God took his time. God took his time. God took his time. That's all I'm saying. Is God took his time. Like, shout out to God and his parents for those jeans right there. Because those jeans, I'm over it. Believe I'm over it. But I'm not blind. Like, my eyes still work. So, anyways, he comes up. And I was like, oh yeah, here's the backpack. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh yeah, thank you. Mind you, peeping me the whole time. Peeping me the whole time. Like, looking at me like, oh, okay, thank you. Oh, well, was that you that had called? Mind you, he said this in front of all the coworkers. He was like, was that you that had called? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, thank you. I was just like, you're welcome. You're welcome. So anyways, I'm taking mad long to do my eyebrows. So anyways, that happens or whatever. And I was like, you know what? No, it's a reason that he came back. It's a reason that he came back. So you know what? I'm finna just go ahead, shoot my little shot. So I walk outside and I was like, excuse me. I'm not sure if you and mom are together, but if you're not, go ahead and take my number down. He hands me his phone. I said, yup, period. I put my number in and he was like, all right, bet. Now, I did not take his number down. I completely left it up to him because if he's gonna call, he's gonna call. If not, he's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not tripping regardless. So I get in the class and he calls me and he's like, oh yeah, lock me in. I said, okay. Trying to play it mad cool, bro. Mind you, my stomach is doing somersaults, backflips, two-hand tuck, all of that. Like, I'm not even playing with you. So I get inside, back inside to our little office thing, and when I say I fall out on the ground, I mean fall out. Fall out on the ground because I just could not believe that happened. Now, mind you, when I first seen him, I knew he was older. I knew he was older than me because, like I said, at the time, I was 19. So the fact that this just happened, I was just like, wow, I cannot believe I really just did that, right? So that night he calls me and we chopping it up. We was chopping it up on the phone for like 2 hours. Mind you, it's nighttime. He's laying in bed, bro. He's laying in bed. This is something that you have to remember.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
We chopping it up. We got off the phone. He calls me he texts me the next day like, good morning. And so from there on, we were just like constantly texting. He would call me at the end of the night, check in, ask me how my day was, you know, like all that. Like immediately off to a great start. So we make plans for the following Saturday. So anyways, the following Saturday comes. I have now told my cousin, I'm like, cousin, guess what I'm doing? Like, my coworkers know. It's all in the group chat because we got a group chat. They're like, so how did it go? Because they all knew that I just got at him. And so I'm like, yeah, we going out on Saturday. Da, 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 like all of this good stuff, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, like, what should I wear? They tell me what I should wear, like everything, right? I'm like, all right, bet. So Saturday comes and I don't hear from him in the morning like I normally do. And I'm like, okay, like it's fine. He had told me that his kid had like a game or whatever. And so I left it alone. But he had told me already, he was like, you know, I'll be done by such and such time. So I was like, all right, like we good, we in the door, I'm not tripping. Like, I don't have nothing to do. Mind you, at that time, obviously I was kid free. I had nothing to do. My job had ended for the summer. Like, I was chilling. So I don't hear from him. I text him, my message don't go through. I said, okay, we're just, you know, we're not gonna, anything could happen. He just could, his phone could die. He's out of game, like. Making excuses, right? So I try to call him, like, who knows, maybe it's just his phone tripping. I try to call him, my call don't go through. I said, okay, before I jump to any conclusions, let me make sure. So I grab my mama's phone. I'm like, Mom, let me use your phone real quick, right? I call and it goes through. I said, all right, bet. So you blocked me. So I text him again and I'm like, you know, like, it is what it is. I'm not sure what was up, but thank you for your time, blah, blah, blah. Like, being a 19-year-old, honestly, that's really the only explanation I have for what I said. My feelings was hurt, yes, but I was going to play it cool. I should have just not texted him at all. But I tried to be the bigger person. I tried to be mature about it, quote unquote, right? I literally go on about my dad. I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, I can't stress it. I can't really trip off of it. It just is what it is. Go on about my day. A few hours later, it's like 5 o'clock, I want to say. Mind you, we were supposed to go out at 2. It's 5 or 6 in the evening now. And he's like, my bad. Like, I lost my phone last night after we got off the phone in the gym. Like, he made up a whole excuse. And guess what I did? I believed it. I was like, oh, that's so sad. Mind you, it's something in the back of my head the whole time. Like, girl, for real, really, like, the whole time. But I didn't want to hear that voice. Like, that sign can't stop me because I cannot read. Period. I can't read. So anyways, we move on from the day. We have our regular daily conversation. He's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm gonna make it up to you. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, it is what it is. It's whatever. I'm not finna trip off of it. We move on. So come Tuesday, I think Tuesday night, we was on the phone like regular, and I was like, oh, like, what are you doing tomorrow? Because yeah, I was just like, what are you doing tomorrow? And he was like, oh, like, I'm not really doing much, like, what's up? And so I was like, I'm gonna come see you on your lunch. And he was like, okay. And I was like, okay. I was surprised he said okay after the whole little shenanigan shindig thing. So he said okay. So the next day, we back at it again with the outfit, whatever. I had to find a whole new outfit because, mind you, this is my first time seeing him since I first got him. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so nervous. You have no idea, I'm so nervous. So get dressed, go see him. We go out to Kinder's for lunch, and it was just a great time, right? It was a great time, and it was before I had went back to work because school was back in by then. So it was before I had went to work. We went to Kinder. So, you know, I'm at work like, guess where I just came from? And my coworkers is just hyping me like, okay, I see you, da, 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 right? So anyways, that happens. And I don't know if it was the same day. I feel like it really might have been the same day. Was it the same day? No. It was probably like a week later. I just know I always see him on like Wednesdays. So it was probably like a week later, and we go to get ice cream. So we go to get ice cream, and his baby mama called him, and I'm like I'm not tripping. It is what it is. Like, that's the mother of your child. I might not have kids, but I'm not that young, and I'm not stupid. Like, I know how it is. So his baby mama calling him or whatever, and he make like low-key a big deal out of it. Like, oh my gosh, why is she calling me? And I was just like, child, I don't know, that's your baby mama. Like, don't try to do too much for me. Like, it ain't ever been that serious. So he like, oh my god, like, why is she calling me? Da, da, da. I'm like, he don't answer. That should have been red flag number 1. But my red flags look like they have green grass around them because they're freaking golf flags. Like, I'm just an idiot. So anyways, he don't answer, and he started telling me some whole story that I didn't even ask for. And now that I think about it, like, oh yeah, she had gotten in an accident, so she's using my car. Da, 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 da. That's why I don't always have it, or something like that. I don't know. So Anyways, that day was over, whatever. And so we finally had went on another date. Oh, after he had ghosted me and after we had went to lunch, he officially took me out to Chevy's. And I was just like, he came and picked me up. Like, he had like the flowers. Like, he had the whole little, like, you feel me? I was like, okay. So that was probably still in August, I want to say. So fast forward to my birthday. My birthday's in September. And I wanted to have a barbecue for my birthday. So he ends up coming to my birthday thing. He actually does come to my birthday thing. And when he's there, he comes a little bit late. I wasn't tripping because he said he had something to do. But when he's there, he sees somebody that he knows. And he tries to, like, not really hide it. But they was, oh yeah, who you with? And he was like, oh yeah, just some family. So just on some stupid 20-year-old stuff. I didn't think too much into it. I was like, it is what it is, right? So he ends up having to leave. He was like, I gotta go right now, but I'm gonna call you later. And I was like, okay. Like, he was like, I'm gonna call you later. We're gonna spend the rest of your birthday together. And I was like, all right, bet. So sure enough, he does. It's mad late though. He calls me mad late. Like, he calls me and we chilling, all that. You know how that go. You know how that go. So anyways, the night's coming to an end and I'm like, dang, like, I gotta pee. Like, can I come inside and pee or whatever? Because he had told me that he stayed with roommates. And I was like, can I come inside and pee or whatever? And he was like, nah, like, it's bad. Like, you can't even do it. It's somebody staying on my couch. And I'm like, bro, like, I have to pee. Like, and I had to pee so bad. And he's like, all right, come on, but you got to be quiet. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm not tripping. So I go in and I pee. He got 2 cats. And I'm like, oh, you got cats? Low-key loud. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I was low-key being loud. And he was like, bro, like, be quiet. You gotta be quiet. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, who cares? So he's like, bro, you gotta be quiet. So I leave, whatever, go home. Everything was good. He had bought me, mind you, at my barbecue, he met my family. What else did he do? He met my family. He met my pastor. He was throwing the football with my little brother. Like, so much stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I cannot believe this, right? Mind you, 20 years old. This is like my first real relationship outside of high school. Mind you, he never asked. He never asked. But I was 20. I didn't think nothing of it. So I was like, okay, like, we locked in. I'm in the dough, period. I just knew I was in the dough. So, fast forward, like, mind you, he's come with me to one of my little brother's football games. Like, he's been around. He almost came to church. Like, he's been around. Fast forward to November. Let's fast forward to November. I end up moving out of my mom's house. I move out of my mom's house. Now, I moved in like a 5-minute drive from his house. Not even on purpose. Did I know where he lived? I didn't know where he lived at the time. But not even on purpose. It just happened. Like, I moved in and it was 5 minutes away. So, you know, he would come over, blah, blah, blah. We would be chilling, all that good stuff. I don't want like a super high crease, but I feel like it's gonna end up creasing anyway. He would come over or whatever, and it would always be like at 4 o'clock in the morning. It would always be at 4 o'clock in the morning. And he said that he had got another job. And I'm like, all of a sudden, and like, now that I think about it, it was like, come on, keep on, you should have known better. But all of a sudden, you have this other job and it's overnight. You don't get off till 4. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna just come over when I get off. Like, he always used to tell me that. What it really was, I found out after the fact, is he was coming over when he said he was going to the gym. To his, you feel me? He said he was going to the gym and then he would come. Because he would always leave like hour and a half later. Like, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to my regular job. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It is what it is, right? 20. Keep in mind I'm 20. Let's just keep in mind I'm 20, okay? So, anyways, I didn't think too much of it. And so one day he had asked me, he was like, I got a football game this week. Do you want to come with me? I'm like, duh, I want to come with you. Like, why would I not want to come with you? Like, duh. So I go with him to his football game. I met his friends again. Now, mind you, throughout this whole time, I have met his friends. He's taking me bowling with his co-workers, blah, blah, blah. But again, 20 years old, I don't even realize that a man is going to cover up for their friend, obviously. Like, I feel like I was very naive for a 20-year-old. And it's time to go. And I'm like, all right, I'm hungry. Like, I want something to eat. Like, can we go get some food or whatever? And he's like, yeah, like, it's good. We can go get food. Mind you, we both stay in American Canyon. There's a Red Robin in Vacaville. There's a Red Robin in Fairfield. I'm like, why don't we just go to the Red Robin that's in Fairfield? Mind you, it's around the holidays. It's like really close to the holidays. I'm like, why we can't go to the one that's in Fairfield? Because it's right by the mall. I'm like, I kind of want to walk around the mall, see what I need. He was like, bro, we could just go right here. I'm just like, we have to pass through both. Anyways, didn't think nothing of it. So we end up going to the one in Vacaville. Now, mind you, I forgot to mention, he picks me up in a completely different car. I have never seen this car before. He picks me up in a completely different car. And I'm just like, okay. He's like, it's a rental. Keep in mind that his baby mama used to use his car. So I was like, okay, like, it is what it is. I'm not tripping. So he picks me up in a rental. We go, and we end up going to Red Robin in Vacaville instead of where we live close to. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm not tripping again. It is what it is. So we go to Red Robin. We have a great time. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna call you. I'm a what did he say? I'm gonna go check on my kid, and then I'm gonna come by later. And I was like, okay, like, I'm not tripping. I need to take a shower. We've been outside, all this good stuff. He ends up not coming that night. He doesn't call me. He doesn't do none of that. I called him maybe twice. I'm not even gonna lie. I probably called him twice. And he doesn't answer. So I'm like, all right, fine. Like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna be pressing you like that. So I wake up the next day. I go to work. He calls me while I'm at work. Just so happened to be on lunch, I think. And he was like, my bad. Like, I got caught up with my kid, blah, 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 blah. All this other blah, blah, blah. A bunch of lies is what it sounds like. Do I pay it any mind? I think from that day is when I was like, yeah, this whole thing is really just iffy. That whole ghosting situation happens again. He calls me and I'm like, bro, I don't really have nothing else to say to you for today. Like, I really just don't have anything else to say to you. And he's like, well, I'm sorry. Like, don't hold it against me. Can you forgive me? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, bro, like, I don't know. I'm at work, so I'm gonna have to talk to you later. That's all I told him. I was like, I'm at work, so I'm gonna just have to talk to you later. And he's like, alright, well, I'll talk to you later. I don't call him later. But he sends me a text message. It's the text message that always be getting me. He sends me a text. He's like, I'm really sorry. And da 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 da. And I'm just like, you know me, being stupid. So we end up going back to talking. So fast forward Christmas break. All the kids are at one location for the break. And I happen to be leaving for the day when mom is coming to pick up Sunshine. So mom's coming to pick up Sunshine or whatever. And I see that she's in his car. In his car, supposedly, right? I'm like, okay. Now, remember how I said I live not too far from him because I moved. So as I'm leaving, my coworker's taking me home or whatever, and I'm leaving to go home, and I literally have to go the same direction that I would go to his house to get to my house. And so as we're driving, I see that he's making all the turns to his house. Or she's making all the turns to his house. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. Now I'm asking my coworker, like, bro, what do I do? Like, is this weird? Like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Because I really just didn't know. And so I call him. Act like everything was good. How's your day? Blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff. All the shenanigans, right? And so I'm like, I got a question. He's like, what's up? I'm like, do you still mess with your baby mama? He said, hold on, I'm gonna call you back. I said, that's it. Yeah, that was the final straw for me. That was honestly the final straw for me. So, me being 20 years old, a new 20 at that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go straight to the source. I'm gonna come to her as a woman. I still cannot believe that I did this to this day. Mind you, I've never done this ever again in life after this situation. I stay in my place and I mind my business. So I'm like, alright, you know what? Bet. I cannot believe I just did that. Great. Whatever. So I call. And I'm like, hi, is this such and such? And she's like, yes, who is this? Did I say who it was? No. I was like, I was just wondering, are you and such still together? She was like, yes. Like, we've been together for 8 years. Shit. I said, y'all been together, like, consistently, like, the whole time? She's like, yes, who is this? And so I tell her. I was like, I've been seeing this man for the last 4 months. And she's like, wow. Like, that's all she said. She was like, wow. And I'm like, I'm not even lying. Like, I have, like, the proof to show you, blah, blah, blah. Like, we had took pictures together and, like, heck stuff. And so I sent it to her. I sent her the pictures. And she was like, wow, like, yeah, we've been together. This isn't the first time that he's done this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. And you're still with him.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
So she tells me all that. And I think I call him again. Because I just could not believe that I just heard what I just heard. Mind you, my coworker's still in the car with me. So she just heard everything that I heard too. I'm like, yo, what the heck do I do? Like, what the heck? She's like, call him. So, what do? I called him. He doesn't answer my call. And he gonna send me a text and say, who is this? I said, who is this? Did you just ask me who this was? I didn't even, I sent a picture of both of us. Like, I just sent a picture. Like, you're not gonna try to say who is this to show your baby mama. No, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you who this is. Like, stop playing with me. So, he says, who is this, right? He doesn't call me back. He never calls me back after that. And she's like, let's go over there. Or did I don't know if I suggested it or if she suggested it. But we ended up over there. We ended up at this man's house. And I think, like, as we're pulling up, so is he. So when I say, like, this is just, it's embarrassing. I cannot believe that I'm telling you this story. It's, like, extremely embarrassing. But I run. I sprint to where we parked. Because we parked to the side so that he kind of wouldn't see us. And then I seen him getting out of the car. And so when I tell you I sprint over there, sprinted over there, okay? Sprinted over there. And he turned around because he heard me coming up the stairs like, what are you doing here? I'm like, why didn't you call me back? That was my response to his, what are you doing here? I said, why didn't you call me back? He was like, bro, you gotta go, bro. You're bugging out. Like, you're tripping, da-da-da-da. I'm like, why didn't you call me back? Why didn't you call me back? Now, mind you, he's mad loud on the stairs. I'm being very civil. I'm being very calm. I'm chilling, but he's being loud. And so she comes out and I said, wow. I was like, wow, da, da, da. She already knew who I was because I had just talked to her. And she was honestly hecka nice. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, she was honestly hecka nice. She was like, I understand you're hurt. Like, you're not even the first one. And I'm just like, oh, what? Like, I'm sitting there crying. Like,
This is so humiliating.
but when I tell you that I'm sitting there in front of them crying, and she's like, bro, like, be lucky that you don't have a kid out there. Like, mind you, this man is standing there. When I say standing there like this, like, yep, she already knew. You're not the first one. I said the audacity. I definitely tried to punch him. I definitely did. Do I care? No. She saved him. She for surely saved him. He gonna back up, and she saved him. I said, sis, why you don't let me hit him for the both of us? Because why are you putting up with this? But whatever, that's on you.
Anyways, I just contoured the crap out of my nose. That was my chin. That was a complete accident.
So anyways, he's standing there like the audacity, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I could not believe this. So anyways, we leave or whatever. My coworker takes me home, and she's like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? And I'm just like, yeah, like, I'm fine. Like, it is what it is. Mind you, she's seen me. I've been crying. I've been crying like the whole time. And I'm just like, wow, like, I really could not believe that it was happening. I really couldn't. I could not believe that something like this was happening to me. And I was so sad, and I was so hurt, and I was so devastated. And I just couldn't believe it. She was like, are you okay? Like, are you sure? Like, do you want me to stay with you? I'm like, girl, no, I don't want you to stay with me. Like, I'm finna go inside and cry. I'm finna go inside and cry my eyes out. Because, God, why me? Why would you send this man into my life to hurt me? Like, when I say stuff be character development, child, do I gotta develop that much? Like, I really do be wondering, like, is it that much? It ain't that much character development in the world. Like, why did you do me like that? I bet you. So that happens. Now mind you, like I said, it was still the holiday. Their kid doesn't come to the program for like the rest of the week, I want to say. Like, I was being so stupid. Like, I'm gonna get to that, but I was being so stupid. Like, his kid definitely could have been home, and at the time I was being extremely selfish, not caring about the consequences of my actions, not caring about like anything. I was just being extremely selfish. I wanted what I wanted, and that was definitely not okay. But child, anyways, so fast forward, I don't see him for the rest of the year. I don't see him.
Siobhan, are you bugging out or what?
Fast forward, I ended up quitting the job, or not working there anymore. I don't remember. I think I just ended up quitting. Ended up not working there anymore, because like low-key everybody knew my business, and I just felt so embarrassed. I know that shouldn't be a reason to like quit a job, but I was like, you know what, I really don't care. Like, I really don't. And so I went ahead and I left. And fast forward a year later, and I see him when I'm in the mall with my mama. I said, child. And so I made sure that he knew that I seen him. I said, Mom, look who it is. Look over there who it is. And she said, who? We started laughing. He look at me. He gonna act like he on the phone. I seen you already. Like, but mind you, I'm mad pregnant. Like, yeah. By the time I seen him, I was big. I was big. I think it was around the holiday time again. I had my baby in February. It was in December. And so it was around the holiday time again. So imagine I'm 8 months, not 7, whatever. I'm pregnant. So anyways, he gonna act like he don't see me or whatever. And like, you're really a weirdo for that. And I go on about my day. Come fast forward, I don't think I had even given birth yet. So, but I'm pretty close. I was pretty close to giving birth. And he calls me and he's like, oh, I just wanted to tell you how sorry I was. Like, it was never supposed to go down like that. Like, I'm sorry I brought you into that. It was never even nothing like that. How can you sit here and still tell me that it was never nothing like that? Like, I didn't talk to her myself in front of you. Like, at this point, does she know that we're on the phone? does she know that you called me? Does she know these things? Like, what is going on? I was like, bro, whatever. And I left it alone. And fast forward again. I get a call. I cannot believe. When I say I cannot believe, I cannot even believe myself. I get a call. And guess who it is? I don't know why this man was not blocked on my phone. I have absolutely no idea. Like, why? I mean, why did he even still have my number? Do you know how long has passed since I've seen you, since I've heard from you, since I've talked, since this situation? Like, why are you still thinking about me? But it's the vibe. I'm that guy. But no, but for real. I get a call and I'm like, hello? He's like, what's up? I already knew his voice. I was like, who is this? Because what you're not gonna think is that I've been waiting on your call. Cause anyways, what you're not gonna think is that I've been waiting on your call, okay? So he's like, it's such and such, and I was like, I just was quiet. I was just quiet. Cause it's just like, what do you want? Like, why are you calling my phone, right? And so he's like, I just wanted to chop it up with you. And I'm like, where's your family? Like, that's literally what I asked him. Like, where's your family, right? He's like, but it's really not even like that. Like, we're not even together no more. Da 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 da. By that time, I had just given birth. And for the people that's all in my business trying to judge me, I wasn't even with my baby daddy. So by that time, I had just given birth. So I was only 21. So still just being stupid. Still having I really did. Even after the situation, I always used to judge myself because I just felt so stupid. Like, why do I still want to be with this man? Like, why do I still, like, just felt so dumb. So I'm like, whatever. So we ended up chopping it up that day. He's like, but like, it's not even like that. Like, da da da. So I call him a few days later just to like check in, just to chop it up, and he don't answer. Or yeah, he don't answer. I call him a few days later, he don't answer, and I get a text like, why are you still calling this phone? Da, 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 from a different number. I said, oh yeah, no, what you're not about to do is make it seem like I'm the one that was stuck. Like, that's what we're not gonna do, sis. So I go ahead and call her. She answers the phone. Best believe she answered that phone. And I start going smooth off like, call me, sis. Check him before you get to checking on me. I'm not just calling him. But you know, men, they delete stuff. But you know, women, I keep stuff. So I went ahead and I sent a screenshot of the first time that he called me. Like, you're not finna think that, like, huh? I don't care how young I am. You're not finna think that you checking me or that you checking something. I'm back in it with her again. Now, mind you, the first time she was cool. This time, I guess she mad. Because, like, why do this little girl still got a hold on my man? Yep, exactly. Little girl. Females love to little girl you when you could take that. Yes, I can. And you're so upset about it. Like, go to hell. So she tried to little girl me. And I'm like, I'm such a little girl, but your man calling me. Steady calling my phone. I done told you before it's over. Leave me alone. Yeah, all of that. Like, he called me. Don't try to do that. But that's my story time of how I found out I was the other woman. He still calls me to this day. To this day. So, moral of the story, you cannot trust these. No matter if they see flowers on your Snapchat that you posted and they bring them to you on your birthday because they're your favorite color. No matter if they FaceTime you at night in bed, you cannot trust them. No matter if they meet your family. You want to know the last man that met my family? After that, took forever. Took forever. I mean, moral of the story, do not introduce these men to your family. Don't even do it. Don't introduce them to nobody. Don't ever post them. Don't ever do nothing. Stay in your place. Okay? Stay in your lane. If you feel like something off, then leave. If you don't want to leave, I don't got nothing to do it with you unless it has been proven. Then hey, just have the fun while you're in it. Period. Don't go hurting your feelings. Don't go doing none of that. Cause it's not worth it. It's not even worth it. But that's my story. You cannot, the moral of the story, you cannot trust these men. No matter the age. Don't trust them. Don't put your trust in them. Yeah, all that. This is literally all drugstore products. Except for these lashes too, by the way. These lashes came in a pack from a wig that I ordered on Amazon. I'm liking it. I'm feeling it. I'm digging it. I don't even do like I said, like I really don't do eyeshadow. Like if I ever have a full face, it's literally just face. I never have eyeshadow on because I just don't do it. And so that's really the goal of these videos, is to challenge myself and to see what I can do. Could I do better? Yes, definitely. But is it like basically my first time really doing an eyeshadow look? Yes.
But yeah. I like it. The point of saying that was I like this one better. Anyways. So hey. Glad I did it. And keep in mind, I'm no pro at all. So if you are a pro and you're watching my videos, don't judge me. Because I don't know what I'm doing. You want to know who taught me how to do makeup? YouTube. Yep, YouTube. YouTube taught me how to do makeup. I went to YouTube University.
But while we're here, I would love for you guys to head over to my Instagram because I want you guys to ask me questions, because I do want to do a question and answer video. I just don't want to look up random questions online. Like, I want questions from people. So feel free to DM me. Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Whatever it is that you prefer to do. I'm with whatever. But anywho, that is my recreated makeup look. I'm scared to close my eyes because I feel like it's a mess when I close my eyes, y'all. That is my story time. How I found that out at such a naive young age of 20 years old. Moral of the story, don't trust men. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my video. I really do appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you think I'm kind of funny. Even just a little bit funny, you could give me a subscribe. Even if it's not a lot of funny, I really appreciate it if it was even just like a little bit. But please leave comments of what you guys want to see, what you guys want to ask, what you guys want me to do, like anything like that. Leave comments. Head over to my Instagram. All of my socials are Keeveezy. The first part is regular, 2 E's. Like every time you hear E, it's the double E. You learn that in Hooked on Phonics, okay? Keeveezy, 2 Y's, okay? Follow me, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keeveezy out the keys, baby.